Motivation is a scam. It's like a flaky friend. It shows up when everything is exciting and easy, but the second thing gets boring, confusing, annoying, and hard, it completely vanishes. Because when you feel motivated, you set a goal, feel pumped about it for a few days, and then it fades quickly. I think many of you have experienced this a lot, because motivation depends entirely on how you feel in the moment. So relying on it is what keeping you stuck. So how do we actually action when motivation is gone? Here is the step one, understanding your brain friction. What is brain friction? Brain friction is the heavy mental resistance you feel the exact moment you sit down to start a hard task. For example, when you sit down at your desk, suddenly your head feels heavy, you feel tired, or your mind tells you, let me just Instagram for 5 minutes first. And the exact feeling is brain friction. Your brain hates wasting energy. When it sees heavy, huge study session or a long project, it freaks out and tries to convince you to doom scroll on your phone instead. So how to beat it? To beat it, I use 2-minute rules. Instead of telling myself I have to study for 3 hours, no, I make a deal with my brain. I only have to do it for 2 minutes. And if I still want to quit after 2 minutes, I can. This lowers brain friction to 0 because 2 minutes seems so easy to brain and your brain doesn't fight back. So, and the secret, once you survive those first 2 minutes, the friction drops and momentum kicks in and you almost always keep going. And discipline. Discipline is loyal. It shows up when it's boring, heavy, confusing, or hard things, Unlike motivation, which depends entirely on how you feel in the moment, discipline doesn't care how you are feeling. It's not something you're born with, it's something you build. Well, what's the secret to build motivation? To build motivation is lowering your activation energy. Activation energy is simply the amount of energy it takes to jump from doing nothing to taking action. Discipline isn't about having a willpower. It's about designing your environment. So starting a task takes 0 energy. Without discipline in your environment, starting a task feels impossible. Because imagine, if you want to study, but your desk is messy, your laptop is dead, and you can't even find your notebook. Every obstacle adds up, and your brain calculates how much effort it takes to just start. So it gets overwhelmed and pushes you straight back to scroll on your phone. But with motivation, you prepare your space before you need it. You clear your desk, leave your book open to right page, keep your notebook ready the next time you sit at your desk, and there are no hurdles in your way because your activation energy is too low and taking action becomes effortless. The third step requires the brutal reality check. Most of us are stuck in a trap where we think our feelings have to match our tasks and we tell ourselves, I'm tired, I'm not in a mood, so I'll do it later when I feel more energized. But here is the truth. Motivation isn't coming, If you only build your life on days you feel good, you are letting temporary mood swings control your entire future. Instead of fighting your mood and becoming guilty for unmotivated, acknowledge it. Yes, I feel completely unmotivated today, and that's fine. You don't need to be excited, happy, or inspired to just open your book and sit at your table, but you still do the work anyway, because the goal isn't to fix your mood, it's to realize that your mood doesn't get to make the decision. When your mind is screaming all the reasons why you should quit, stop arguing with it. Focus on your physical body, because when you sit down or walk into your room or move your hand to open your book or press record, action creates emotion. When your body is in position, your mind has no choice but to catch up. So step 4 is breaking all or nothing mindset. On high energy days, go all in, give 100%, crush your task and ride that wave. But on days your motivation is absolute zero, do not completely stop. Do just 20%, read 1 page instead of a whole chapter. Write 2 sentences instead of a full essay. This proves to yourself that you are still someone who shows up even on your worst days. The biggest benefit of doing 20% isn't even work itself. It prevents guilt cycle. When you do absolutely nothing, you spend entire evening feeling like ashamed, guilty, or stressed. This fatigue follows you into the next morning, making it even harder to start again. But when you do a tiny fraction of work, you replace guilt with peace of mind. You protect your consistency and even stay in a game, and you wake up ready to reset. So, motivation might get you started on day 1, but discipline is what actually finishes the work.